97 Gold is proud to welcome October 18th to the Wagner Noël Performing Arts Center. We've had a lot of great shows at the Wagner Noël, but I tell you what, this is going to be one of the best to come to the Wagner Noël. I know it is because it's Clay Aiken, Ruben Studdard, 20 years of friendship, and now 20 years, one night, incredible music. Clay, Ruben, thank you so much for taking time to talk to us today.
Thanks for having me.
This tour is getting started. Who came up with the idea first for you guys to get together? I know you've been friends a really long time. To get together and showcase both of your talents and this incredible music and put it on tour.
Well, I think that we both came up with the idea. I mean, I would like to say that. You know, we definitely have been friends for a long time. We worked together. We've done Broadway together. We've done a tour together. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, you came to my Ruben Sings Luther show and was like, you know what, let's go back on the road again.
Yeah, I mean, Ruben being modest, he gets a little bit of credit for getting me off my butt. I had stopped performing for a while, and Ruben has stayed on the road consistently for the last 20 years, and I had kind of stepped away from it. And we did, like you mentioned, we did our Broadway show together in 2018. Had kind of said I didn't want to do it anymore for a while. Ruben had said, "Oh, we should go out and do something again. Let's do something again." And it wasn't until I saw his Ruben Sings Luther show that I realized, okay, you know what? He's having fun. He's good at this. We should. I'm down. So he fired me up because it's always fun to watch him perform, and it's so much more fun to be on stage with someone who you know and you trust and you have have that sort of vibe with.
Ruben, there's no mistaking when you watch interviews of the two of you either talking about your American Idol experience or talking about this upcoming tour, joy is unmistakable listening to you talk about what fans are going to enjoy when they see you two on stage.
Well, I mean, I think it's because we enjoy what we do on stage. Like, there is no other explanation as to why we probably seem a little bit gleeful when we talk about the show. Is because we enjoy being on stage together. I, for one, enjoy listening to the musicians and the wonderful arrangements that we have put together for this show. So we have a good time. Extremely excited always to get on stage and perform with my friends.
Well, you've been friends for over 20 years, and we go back to season 2 and one of the most memorable seasons. Clay, and a lot of people talk about Simon Cowell as a judge, obviously, and his reputation, and he seems to have mellowed some over the years now, watching him on America's Got Talent. But back then, he certainly had that, rough edge. I'm curious, what was he like off the show, off the set, off the taping? What was he like?
I think both of us find it funny sometimes when people ask that, only because I don't think that Simon was any different off stage than he was on stage, but I also don't think Simon was mean. I mean, yes, he said some things that I wish he hadn't said on TV, to me at least. But I never found Simon to be mean. He's always been naturally himself. He tells, some people skirt around what they, the hard truth they want to finally tell you. Simon just says it, and I think he recognizes sometimes, or he feels sometimes at least, that telling somebody the truth is better than BSing them.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that he's good at. Look at all the people who you've seen sing in your life or on TV or wherever, who you think to yourself, God, why didn't someone tell them not to do that?
Right.
Or that outfit was so ugly, why did someone not tell them not to wear that before they walked on stage? Simon, he always just is saying, I'd rather tell you the truth than BS you. And I always respected that. I never saw him as mean or disrespectful or rude. He was always the same off stage, but he was always a lovely person to be around. And I sometimes over the past 20 years, I've missed having that frank honesty that we got when we were on the show.
Ruben, talk about what the American Idol experience, how that contributed to having a 20-year career, because it certainly is a launching point, but it's never a guarantee of success. And to have a 20-year career like you both have had successfully, what did the American Idol experience contribute to that long career that you both enjoyed?
To be perfectly honest, I would have been doing music had American Idol not been around in my life. But what it did do was give me the opportunity to put myself around people that would give me the opportunity to do it at the level in which I wanted to do it. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
You cannot pay for the amount of professionals that the producers of American Idol gather around to give you advice. And these people, a lot of them, of which have a part of your career far beyond just the television show. Well, when we were on the show, they did. So, the producers of the show had a vested interest in us being successful because we were all basically a part of the same team, which was 19 Entertainment.
Right.
They wanted all of us to be successful because if we weren't successful, the show wasn't successful.
It's a boot camp. We've made that kind of comment in the past. As we talk, this whole tour is about sort of giving people behind the scenes look at what it was like to be on Idol, and we both used sort of similar phrases to boot camp. I mean, if you look at what's needed from a musical artist, from a touring, from someone who does what we do, there's A&R, there's production, there's rehearsal. I mean, there's so many little elements that go. There's publicity. There's dealing with critics. There's so much that goes into it for 20 years. We compressed that into 7 days every week, or 15 weeks. We got one of the greatest educations in the music industry that you can get, and we got it live on TV in front of everybody.
Wow!
Every week.
Well, I know that you guys frequently come back to American Idol to mentor contestants and provide advice. Clay, what is the one or two questions that come up most often from contestants nowadays when you are able to come back to the set that they want to know from you?
Well, I think they're all looking for a golden, that one magical word that can tell them how they can do it for 20 years too, right? Everybody wants
right.
Everybody wants a nice little shortcut, but Ruben and I can tell you firsthand, as you alluded to in one of your earlier questions, it's not as easy as just expecting that Idol's going to do it for you, right? There is work that goes into it. From the moment we worked very hard while we were on that show for 15 weeks, every week. And then the minute we got off, the reason I think that Ruben and I are lucky enough to still be doing this is because the minute we got off the show, we recognized you have to work again. You really just kind of have to start over. And so those who you see who go on, who kind of think the show's going to do it all for you, they're in for a rude awakening afterwards. There is a lot of work that goes into it. You have to pay attention, and you're not in the protected environment of knowing where you're going to be and that you're going to be on TV the next week. So there's a lot of work that goes into it. I don't know that I've heard one specific question that has popped up more than any others, but certainly everybody would like to know what the magic touch is, and I think it's just focus, work, paying attention. And keeping your nose to the grindstone.
Right. And Ruben, what about you? Contestants, when you come back to visit the set, things that they want to kind of glean from your knowledge and experience in the business?
I think the one thing that I do hear contestants asking a lot of me is song selection. And, and how do you pick a song that can keep you on the show? And I oftentimes tell them that the best advice I can give you is just always pick songs that you know, because they're going to throw you curveballs. Like they're going to give you a week where they're going to give you a song that you don't know and you have to sing. So you may as well sing the songs you know when you have the opportunity to do so, because that's the one thing that I know is the people that were like all week trying to learn new material were the ones that got sent home.
Wow.
I mean, what was great about Idol, in my opinion, one of the things that was great about Idol was just that you could tune into it no matter what age you were. You could tune into it, and there was music that you recognized.
Yes.
People were singing songs that you could sing along to at home. And it didn't matter what generation you were, everyone knew A Whole New World, which Ruben sang on the show. Everyone knew Build Me Up Buttercup, which I mean, that's really what we try to capture in this show. We want to celebrate 20 years of us getting to do this, celebrate that we got to do it in the place that we got to do it, in the time that we got to do it, and back in 2003 on American Idol, and celebrate what makes and made so the hit and the juggernaut that it is. And the thing that people loved the most about it was being able to know all the songs and sing along and be a part of that show. And that's what we're trying to, what I think we do recreate.
Well, WagnerNoël.com is where you can get tickets. It's October 18th. You can also go online to ClayandRuben.com as well. Ruben and Clay, I'm sorry.
I like the way he said that. I like the way he said that, Ruben. Did you hear?
Well, sir. Yeah.
Ruben,
you can go to either one for sure. But we tell people Ruben and Clay. But trust me, we bought both versions.
Oh my gosh! Well, listen. Well, that leads me to my last question, guys, and I'd like for each of you, if you don't mind, to weigh in. We've talked about some secrets to a 20-year career. What I want to know is, first, Clay, what's the secrets to a 20-year friendship?
Yeah, Ruben gets a lot of credit. Ruben's very active and attentive. I can be a hermit and stay in my house, and Ruben keeps me out of my shell in times when I like to. Listen, we both went through an experience which we would consider positive, but certainly trying. That very few people got to go through, and because of that, we really are family. You know, there's nothing that's going to change that as far as I'm concerned. I mean, there's no secret to it. It's just easy and it is natural, and I can't imagine ever not being friends and brothers with Ruben. So it's hard to answer that question, but that's the truth.
Ruben?
Well, I think that you know, it's very easy to walk away from a friendship. It's not easy to walk away from family. You know, like me and rest in peace to my brother, but my brother and I could fight like cats and dogs, and the next day we'd be hugging it out. And that's exactly the same relationship I have with Clay. So I look at him more as family than I look at him as a friend, and I think that's what kept our relationship strong over the last 20 years.
Wonderful. Well, Clay and Ruben, we cannot wait for you to don the stage at the Wagner Noël, because I know it's just going to be a very special night. So I hope people rush out, get tickets October 18th, 20 years, one night, an amazing night of music from Ruben Studdard and Clay Aiken. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time today.